Hi everyone, it's Els here on Technique Friday. Today I'll be showing you a card featuring the Christmas door die set. So this is the card I'm going to create. It is a super fun die set to use and so versatile because you can do so many different things with it. So Josette created this card, so she put a little reindeer in front of the door. And then I have one here from Anita Isendorn, so she made it more like a classic door, I would say. So a classic scene. So beautiful, beautiful die set to use. So the die set I'm using is the Christmas door die set. It comes with a lot of elements. So of course you can use it when somebody's moving, just use the door by itself and the lanterns maybe. So we have like the whole frame, the top and the bottom parts from the steps, the lantern here, the door handle, some snow if you want to use it for the winter or the Christmas. And then it also comes with the tree, little stem, the pots, little bow, 2 wreath and like the berries for the wreath, and this is kind of a ribbon part for the wreath. So I will show you how to assemble the card and use the different pieces. And so with this one, I actually found out later, I already created the card. And then I showed it to Josette and Josette said, Mom, these pieces actually are the pieces that go behind the lantern. So I'm using the other pot pieces now, but of course you can see you can use both the parts for the pots. So that's the card. And what I would like to show you, so the snow parts, there's 2 little elements that I would like to show you for the kind of how I did that. So I cut that out of a white cardstock with a tape on top. I just take off the release sheet and I kind of dip it in my white glitter in this case. Tap it off, and I do that with all 4 parts. And it's very easy to do. And then you have, because I like, you know, a lot of times I like the different textures or use different materials on the cards. So that makes it more interesting than to just use white cardstock. So that's the other part. And then I'm going to also show you a part of the coloring of the tree. So this is very easy. And the other glitter I use, so this is the white and the other one I'm using is the true red, and I use that for the pots. So I just kind of rub that in a little bit. Make sure that your hands are clean when you do this, because sometimes I work with ink and then my fingers are dirty. And of course that will show up on your white glitter. So make sure your hands are clean when you do this. So that's the glitter part. So for the inking, as you can see, I have like it from dark to light to the top. So basically you take your distress ink. I'm going to put it a little bit on the side that I don't get it on my white cardstock. So you just ink a little bit like this and then kind of tap it a little bit. You see, then you get a nice variegation from the dark to the light. So that's the green. And then I can basically start assembling my card. So let me show you the door first, because I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but my door, it has dimension and you can actually see kind of through the window inside. So how I did that, I took my 6mm tape first and I'm going to put it around here. And then I'm going to put a piece, and the 6mm will fit perfectly here on those edges around the window. And then I'm going to put a piece of acetate on there. And here I just cut a piece of clear acetate. You can get that in craft stores, or you can get that probably, if the craft store doesn't have it, you can get it at Staples. So it's just a clear acetate. Sometimes packaging has it. Like if you buy Sizzix plates, you get some clear acetate in the packaging as well. But so you can find it everywhere. So just put that in. So now I have my window in. And then I want to have that 3-dimension here. So now I'm going to take my 3D tape and I'm going to put it around the whole door. To trim it off a little piece here. A longer part here. And a small part here. So the 3D goes all the way around, and then the part I have left I'm going to put here that you don't kind of put in. So now I'm going to take off the release sheet off that 3D foam. So now I'm going to take the piece of yellow cardstock and just stick it on here. And because that yellow cardstock is now on my foam tape, I need to do only on that part like on the 3 sides, I need to put a new piece of the tape on it. Otherwise the top part would not stick. So only on these parts. That's it. So now this is basically ready to go. I'm going to put it aside. What I will do now is I will start assembling the different parts. So I'm using the Kids' Choice for here. Just put a little bit on my finger. And just do dab, 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 like that. Not too much. And then I can put this behind it. So again, you can use it as a flower pot as well, which I did on my original card, you see. So now you have there, you have the light in there. Do the same with this one. And this was a super fun card to make, I have to say. So there, and then I can assemble my wreath. So you have 2 sizes, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. And you can offset that a little bit. So that's that one. And then I would like to use the parts. So on my original sample here, I only have the berries on there. But I'm going to use the parts for the ribbon as well. So I glittered those parts. So I'm using some glue for that as well. Okay, so I'm just going to put that here. And I'm leaving some space at the bottom because I'm going to do the bow at the bottom this time. So that's the 3rd part. And then I'm going to take the bow, need a little bit of more glue on my finger. Goes at the bottom of the wreath in this case. And then I'm going to take the little berries, and the berries I cut out of red cardstock with the adhesive on the back. So that's the last one. I think in this case 4 is enough on here because I have the bow and the ribbon around there. Yeah, that's enough. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my craft drops, and this is the transparent crystal. I'm just going to put a little blob on there to give it some dimension. And this will dry totally clear, so the red cardstock will shine through completely. There you go. So now I'm going to assemble the trees. And again, I do that with a little bit of kids glue. Maybe a little bit more. So just doing it on my craft mats. And I put them next to each other because I kind of want to have them the same height. And as long as the glue is not dry, I can easily kind of work with that. So let's see, that's about the same height. And then a little stick I'm going to do here, and in the center. And in this one, of course, you can do this all up front before you start building your card. And then you can just, because sometimes it can be nice if you put the trees on one side of the door. Oh, the other one sticks out a bit more, but that's fine because it's going to be exactly the same when I put my tree on there. So I'll put a little bit more glue on my finger. And then you leave this to dry for a bit till the trees are all dry, all the parts, before you put it on your card. But you can see that those little trees by itself can be super fun to use, you see. So now I can see I kind of have them the same height. But you can see if I put 2 in a card and like put a Merry Christmas in the center, you can make a really fun card like that already with only that. So I'm going to put them aside so they can dry while I start building my card. Let me clean up my craft mat first. And then I need to be careful because normally, now with the video, I do it right away. Normally, I would like those drops to be dry before I put on my put my card together. So I will just be careful in this case. So that's the card we're going to create. So what I do first, I put this part on. So for this, so here I use the pumice stone as a background, and what I have here is the hickory smoke. So centered on the card, so I'm going to lean in to put it centered. And then this part is a little bit wider than that part, so these are the for at the bottom, the steps. And I have some 3D foam tape on that one. And I'm going to line it up at the bottom. And I made an A2 size card because it's easy for shipping, but of course you can make a larger card with this easily as well. And this one I'm going to line up at the top. Let me see, just hold my finger here. Kind of line it up and press it down. Then I will put my door down. Oh, got it here. So the door is going to be here at the bottom of the steps. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but I can kind of see the light, the shadow from the 3D foam on there. Then I'm going to put my lanterns on. I'm doing that with a little bit of glue again. Take my tweezer just a little bit on the back and a little bit at the top there. I'm going to hang that here. Kind of, you know, it's easy to kind of line up. Same with this one. Line it up here. Then I'm going to put my wreath on first, I think. Yeah, that's the best. And then I can put the snow on. So you just build it as you go. So this one again, just a little bit of glue here. And in this case, you see I have the bow at the bottom. The only thing I need to be careful with that I don't touch those craft drops there. How cool is that? And then here I have the door handle. So I used silver cardstock for that with the double-sided adhesive on the back. So I just take this off and it has an adhesive on it right away, because otherwise this would be so hard. Oh, I'm left-handed. I'm going to turn this so I don't touch my craft drops. Here we go. So that's the door handle. Now I'm going to put my snow down. And of course that snow you can use on other projects as well. Those are just small pieces of snow. Here we go. Going to see if those are dry. Yeah, that should be good. And I think I'm going to put some, like a little piece of 3D foam tape on the back of the pots to give it some dimension. And again, make sure it's dry before you start putting those down. And then this one, same, and just a little bit of glue. Probably just going to put it at the top, like a little bit here. Take my tweezer because then it's easy to line it up. And I can put that stem you see on this way, they perfectly line up. And then the other one goes here. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to download the free project sheet for supplies, measurements and step-by-step instructions. And you can find more samples on our Instagram, Facebook family page and YouTube channel. See you next time.